Okay, so today we're going on a little trip. We're heading to China's Yunnan province, to a place that looks like something straight out of a fantasy novel. We're going to uncover the incredible story of how something as gentle as rain can, over millions and millions of years, carve an entire forest from solid stone. I want you to just imagine walking into a forest where, instead of trees, you're surrounded by these massive, towering gray pillars. As one description puts it, there are no leaves, no bark, and no wood. Yeah, this isn't a forest of living things, it's a forest made entirely of rock. So this incredible place is called the Shilin Stone Forest, and it is huge. It sprawls over 150 square miles, and some of its stone trees soar more than 30 meters, that's almost 100 feet, straight up into the sky. The science behind this whole thing? It's a process called karst topography. So what exactly is karst topography? Well, it sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple. It's just the science of how water dissolves certain kinds of rock, like the limestone we see here. It's the grand architect behind not just this stone forest, but also those vast underground caves and massive sinkholes you see all over the world. And this brings us to the central mystery of our whole story. I mean, we think of rock as this permanent, super strong thing, right? And rain, it's gentle, it's temporary. So how in the world does one carve the other into a landscape this dramatic? To find the answer, we have to travel back in time. Way, way back. Because long before this was a forest of stone, it was something completely different. We have to look at the raw material, the literal canvas that this masterpiece was sculpted on. And when I say back in time, I am not kidding. The story of the stone forest begins 270 million years ago. That's during the Permian Period. It's a timescale that is it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. So here's the play-by-play of what happened. This entire region, it used to be the bottom of a warm, shallow sea. Over millions of years, the skeletons of tiny marine creatures just piled up, getting compressed into this huge, dense layer of limestone. Then you get this massive tectonic collision that pushes the ancient seabed way up into the air, creating a giant block of rock. And crucially, it was filled with tiny vertical cracks that would turn out to be its greatest weakness. So, we have our stone canvas. Now we just need the sculptor's chisel. And that chisel, believe it or not, is rainwater. But it's not just plain old water. It's water with a little chemical secret. This simple formula. This is the key to everything. As rain, H2O, falls through the air, it picks up carbon dioxide, CO2. And that combination creates a very, very weak carbonic acid, H2CO3. It's nowhere near strong enough to hurt us, but over millions of years, it's powerful enough to dissolve a mountain. And this shows you exactly how it works. Step 1, that acidic rain seeps into those tiny vertical cracks we talked about. Step 2, over thousands and thousands of years, that acid slowly dissolves the limestone, making the cracks wider and deeper. Step 3, eventually, those cracks become huge canyons, isolating the rock in between into the pillars we see today. And finally, step 4, regular wind and rain just keep battering the tops, sharpening them into those iconic blade-like shapes. But here's the cool part. Shilin isn't some totally unique one-off thing. This geological process happens anywhere you have the right ingredients. You know, thick limestone and a whole lot of rain. For another amazing example, let's take a quick hop over to Madagascar. In Madagascar, you'll find the Tsingy de Bemaraha. And while Shilin has these massive kind of separate pillars, the Tsingy Formation is more like a dense labyrinth of serrated, knife-like pinnacles. This difference in shape has created a completely different kind of world. The local name for this place is Tsingy, which literally translates to where one cannot walk barefoot. I mean, that phrase alone tells you everything you need to know about how incredibly sharp and unforgiving this terrain is. It's a landscape made of natural razors. And this wild geology has directly shaped the local biology. The stone spikes form a natural fortress, making it almost impossible for people and a lot of predators to get through. So what happened? It's become a sanctuary for incredible wildlife, with species of lemurs and birds and reptiles you can't find anywhere else on Earth, all adapted to leap between these razor-sharp spikes. It's just a perfect example of life adapting to a geological extreme. So, there you have it. We've gone through the science. We now understand how millions of years of chemistry and water carve these incredible shapes out of an ancient seabed.
But, science only tells half the story. To really get a place like this, you also have to understand the human stories that have been woven into the landscape itself.
For the local Yi people, the Shilin Stone Forest isn't just a geological feature. It's a sacred place, tied to a very famous and tragic legend, the story of a young woman named Ashima. So the story goes that Ashima was a beautiful young woman who fell in love, but she was forbidden from marrying the man she had chosen. Absolutely heartbroken, she ran into the forest and, in her grief, was turned to stone. Today, one of the most famous pillars in the entire park is said to be her, forever watching over her home. It's a story that gives a real human heart to all that cold stone. And that kind of brings us to our final thought. The Shilin Stone Forest is just this stunning, real-world reminder of the power of small, persistent forces acting over these unimaginable periods of time. So the question I want to leave you with is this. If a few drops of water can carve a masterpiece over 270 million years, what other immense changes are happening all around us, just too slowly for any of us to see?